everyone, greetings from Chicago and welcome back to the Women in Design video series by Chykalophia. Now on each video, we spotlight talented and inspired women in design community from print to digital, illustrator to animator, and others in between. I'm Arik Shurjak, co-founder and chief creative officer at Chykalophia. We're a digital brand consultancy helping women-led businesses build proper brand foundation, strong communities, and lasting relationship through brand strategy, design, and web solution. Today, I'm honestly super excited because we have Roxy Vélez, a dear friend that I have in one of these, creative entrepreneur group online. We finally got a chance to chat with her today, and I'm super excited to introduce her to you because Roxy is a CEO and creative and art director of Vexquisit Studio. Today, we'll chat with her around how do you niche down? Like, how do you niche down your target audience so that you can position yourself better and market your career and your business better? We'll also discuss with her how leveraging a certain niche can really help you set you apart, help you thrive in your career, and even grow your business. Roxy, welcome. Welcome to this show. I'm super excited to have you here.
Thank you so much for having me, Ari. Yeah, it's super exciting.
No, right? And you know what? I need to kind of share a little bit more about Roxy because I have her bio right in front of me, and I definitely would love to share that before I start asking questions. So bear with me for a second. Roxy Vélez is a creative and art director, founder of Vexquisit Studio, where she oversees the creative and strategic direction of the company. While leading teams of artists as a creative director, from proposal to project delivery, she is involved in every step to ensure creative vision and execution is aligned with her client goals and their customers' needs. Roxy is a graduate SCAD alumni, where she has been invited back as a highlighted alumni to give talks to the student. And prior to starting Vexquisit Studio in Berlin, Roxy worked around the world like Cuenca, Ecuador, Savannah, Georgia, North Carolina, New York City, Düsseldorf, and Berlin. Man, that is a lot of places. I mean, you've been to so many different countries and worked with a lot of people around the world. How did you feel with working remotely and with all of these amazing clients around the globe?
I just think that for me, I don't like routine. I need to move. Yeah. That's like my short answer. Of course, in Cuenca, Ecuador, I'm from Cuenca, Ecuador. So I grew up there and that was my first job. And then Savannah, Georgia, I lived there. So that's where I went to SCAD, the location Savannah. And then North Carolina, there was the internship when I was going to grad school in New York City. That was the first year of after graduation that I was just freelancing there, and then Düsseldorf, full-time job, Berlin, freelancing, and now a studio agency.
Wow. Yeah. I feel like you're an avid traveler, and it must have been so stressful for you right now to be in, this COVID-19 situation where we're actually stuck at home, right?
Well, not necessarily, because we just went to LA a month ago, right? We met there. So that's why I think I'm fine, because I just did this long trip. Yeah. Where we were there with the pro group and all of them. Yeah. And then my office is at home. I have a separate room where I have my whole office set up. So I was already locked when we were doing heavy projects. So it feels like we just had a lot of training, and we're lucky that we have the space to, we're not working on the living room or on the kitchen or something like this.
Well, that's all good. I feel like I'm the same way too. We have our own home office, which just kind of makes it feel nice that we were able to, be in a quarantine and still have a comfortable space to work with. Not many people have that liberty right now, but it's all the little things that we're trying to be very grateful for right now, right? So let's get started, because I have a couple of questions I really do want to ask you, and I think it will be really great to share with our audience right now. So tell us a little bit about your background, Roxy, and take us to the start of your career.
Okay, so my background, I studied graphic design. The first thing for school for undergrad, I went to graphic design school in Ecuador, and as I was doing my thesis, It was I was doing something on motion graphics because I thought like, oh, this is cool, animation that moves. I'm gonna do my thesis on that. Like after not studying motion graphics at all, and as soon as I started doing the thesis, I realized it's a whole career. The more I researched, I was like, oh, there's people doing this for 10 years. I'm trying to do this in 3 months. So a little bit trying to be an overachiever there. And I thought like, okay, I should just study this later after this. I did some animation that is now hiding under all the boxes. So nobody can find it. And then that was the kickoff to get interested in motion design. And I moved to the US. I stayed a year there working on my portfolio and applying for school. I got a scholarship and I moved to the US. I'm the first person in my family that lives abroad, so that was kind of tough. And I didn't know how to do anything also, so it was funny. But a lot of growth, you know. I think that it's really hard to move away I was 22. In Ecuador, you don't move out unless you get married, right?
Yeah.
So I wasn't even like living alone since 18, like people normally do in other countries. I was like still daddy's little girl, and you know, everybody's every like laundry, not even doing laundry or anything, like super not prepared to living alone and facing new culture, masters, and everything. So anyways, I went to SCAD, and it was the best decision I've ever done, or one of the first best decisions, because I have many good ones. And well, the pro group is one of the other ones best decisions. And I think that as I was so as I was there, it was a 1-year program, and I realized that connecting with people was very important, and it wasn't really smart to do only 1 year if I wanted to connect with people, if I wanted to actually do better in school. So I kind of extended the program. I did my classes, you know, they say take 3 classes, and I was thinking that's so little. But as I was there, that was like having 3 jobs, like having 3 jobs. So I reduced to 2, and eventually ended up staying in Savannah, Georgia, in the little town, taking some extra classes too. But I stayed 2 years. And in this period, SCAD made sure that I connected with the best companies. Like they do this for the students. They connect you. They have people from Pixar, Disney, the Mill, like the best agencies coming to interview.
That's amazing. Wow. So did that really kick off your career as a freelancer too, or did you actually work with a certain company after you graduate?
So that kicked off because as I was there, sometimes I would take interviews that I wasn't completely interested, but I just wanted to train how to interview. So that's an advice that I give to anyone. Just take the interview. It doesn't matter. Like you will need that training for the moment that you want the job, you know?
Yeah.
So I think I interviewed for Hallmark, like all of these crazy big names. They were just coming and recruiting people from SCAD because the school is amazing. And so also when you go out, you say, oh, I went to SCAD, and you kind of like people know, a lot of people work already with people from the network, so it has some kind of trust label on it. And there was this situation that I went to a conference in New York City, and I went to volunteer. That's also super good to do if you're starting your career, volunteer at conferences, because first you don't pay the ticket, and probably you don't have the money to buy $1,000 ticket. And second, I think if you're young, especially, you're wearing the t-shirt of the organizers. So you're kind of closer to speak to the speakers than any random young guest, you know, because you're helping out and you're being helpful. So they're going to pay more attention to you than some random young guest because they think, oh, this guy is just young, it's just starting. But if you're helping them out with getting everything organized, you create some sort of friendship. And that's where I met somebody that did a talk. It was Aaron Duffy from First Avenue Machine. And we just exchanged business cards. And so he said like, oh, maybe we have an interview and no, maybe we have an internship position for the summer. And I was thinking, that was at the moment that I was graduating already. So
Yeah.
long story short, I got the internship, and this is a very, very good place. Like if you're in the motion design industry, a lot of people know First App Machine. So it was huge. I was like, how am I even getting there? Like my skills were not there at all. But like, why do they want me to? Yeah, I was like, okay, whatever. Like, this self-doubt, of course, all the time. And yeah, so then after the internship ended, because this place was really well known, it opened doors to other places, and you get to meet freelancers that are coming from other really good places. So I was directly connected with everyone. Like I think I graduated and got jobs directly. My first year was amazing, and I was like, how is this even happening? I was a junior, like I was super junior. I wasn't any like, yeah, I mean, I was good, but I wasn't like, I don't know, like I was like, how am I all the time booked? It's crazy. It's so good. And so then I was thinking I'd stay in New York for 2-3 years. And the things that my paperwork, I had a permit to work. When you graduate in the schools as a foreigner, they give you this opportunity for training.
Yeah.
So I stayed, I had the permit to stay until June, and then I could extend it 17 more months by paying like a fraction of a visa. Visa is like $4,000. This is like $170. Gonna breathe.
So tell me, like, how did you get from like, being an intern in that particular company and it opened doors for you? When did you decide that you actually wanted to do freelancing? And then at what point in your career that you feel like, okay, I don't want to do more freelancing, I'm gonna create my own studio?
I didn't explain that part. So after the internship, they kept me as a freelancer. So that was my home place to work.
I see. Okay.
And I was jumping to other studios on and off to like Click 3X and other places. I think I was at the Mill and other small studios. So, but that kicked off directly. They told me you should freelance because you get to know a lot of more people and you're not just in one place. And yeah, so I just took advice from the colleagues I had at the internship.
Nice. So that is really cool to actually, have someone to give you that specific advice. And from there, it really did seems like open a lot of doors for you. So when did you actually start thinking about, okay, let's not do more freelancing. I want to make this official and let's make a studio?
That was a long time later after that. So I had to move out of New York because of I didn't have to. I just decided to move out because the whole permit situation, it was like, okay, you can get a visa or you continue with a permit. And the plan was to continue with a permit until my grandpa in Ecuador got sick. And I realized, oh, I can't travel to see him because this is not a visa. So I can't come back in the country, even though I was paying all the taxes and doing everything. Yeah. And I thought like, okay, this is ridiculous. Like I'm doing so great, but this is the price and this sucks. And at the same time, a company in Germany reached out to me and said, come work full-time for us. They found me on LinkedIn. They offered me to interview. And as always, I just take the interview just out of the fun of it, thinking like, yeah, right, and I was like, just like interviewing for fun. And they offer me this and they say, we're going to cover your moving expenses. We're going to cover all your paperwork and visa. And I thought like, if I get a visa in the US right now, I still don't make it home. To visit my grandparent, my grandpa that was passing away. And so I thought like, it's just not worth it. Like all of this, early success, but that was like, like just seeing like things in the balance, like how do I or if I get a full-time job directly because of the work rules, I wouldn't be able to go leave the country.
Yeah.
You know, because you have to wait 6 months until they give you vacation, and nobody wants to give you vacation, give you a job so you go on vacation home.
That's true.
You know, so I was kind of stuck. And this company was saying, hey, come work with us. And I wasn't interested at the beginning because I thought, okay, New York, I'm like growing faster. But then this happened.
Mm-hmm.
And it was more like a week, everything started going like down. Like I got, my wallet was stolen, and like the train wasn't working. Like it was like the universe just telling me like, just leave. Like this is not good.
Yeah.
And so I left within applied for the job again. First I rejected them, and then they made me apply. They make me ask for it. And but anyways, they took care of my moving expenses, and they just made everything easy. And within a month I had to sell everything in the US, pack my cat, get all of his papers and medicine and work to pay New York life, and fly out to Germany. And I mean, I didn't get to see my grandpa, but I thought like, if this happens again, I don't want this situation again that I can't go. This is not okay.
Yeah.
Because I'm working, I'm paying taxes, I'm not illegal to have this unfair rule. So you could go out with the OPT only if you had a contract, but I was a freelancer. So then I was in this full-time job in Germany. And of course, because I can't stand routine, it was, as soon as I think like early months, I knew I will not stay for long. And I would just do the contract just to, you know, they paid for my moving expenses and, you know, like pay back with I gave them my year of contract. And then at the end, I said I will not extend the contract. And I will move to freelancing in Berlin. I was been out of Dusseldorf too. So I said, I just moved to Dusseldorf to Berlin and I start freelancing. So this was 2015. And then I freelanced for about 2 years fully. And my transition was about a year.
Nice. Wow. So what really made you, I mean, like what really motivate you to create a company? I feel like it feels like being a freelancer has a lot more flexibility, right? Technically there's not many rules within it. So why did you, go into the lengths of creating a business?
I think it happened from one project that was super big, and I thought I need a team.
Okay.
Because this is too much for one person. It's just not reasonable. So I hired the dream team. So I was really lucky because I know that hiring is very hard. Like you might find the wrong people, and that's what I what I hear all the time from people. But I hired my first hires of freelancers were a dream team. So that was a motivation for me to say, I can do this again. It's not so bad. It's so easy to find people. It's so like, of course, naively, like, because I was just lucky. I found the dream team.
That's fantastic.
And as soon as I jumped back to do regular freelance, I actually missed directing. So I thought like I can help more my clients when I have a team. I can do bigger things for my clients. So that was my incentive.
That's honestly amazing. Hey, that is a valid thing, right? You just wanted to have more support, and then you found the perfect team to work with, and you might as well just like make it official. Wow, that's amazing. What a lucky like opportunity, and like finding all of these amazing people in your team. Roxy, I want to talk a little bit about like how you market your business, right? Because I know you have a very specific niche in targeting, vegan and plant-based companies. Why did you decide to actually go toward these certain niche to position and market your business?
So I guess it starts from the fact that I'm vegan, and I was going to all of these vegan and plant-based events, and I was always so happy to see these brands popping up, like new ones or other old ones getting stronger. And it's just exciting to see this. And I would see what they're doing to market their products. And then I was also attending to the design conferences that they were celebrating for dairy campaigns, for meat campaigns. And I was like, I just don't want to be part of this. This is not cool. I don't like, this is something that I stand against, like all animal exploitation. So I wanted to just support the brands that I love. This very big first project was a vegan brand. So it was 3 months of doing a project that was bringing change and a difference that I align with. And I was just very excited every day. Even I think like I had, previous to this one, I had a very boring project that was for creating some banners, tiny, like 3 days or something, freelancing for a vegan brand. And I was excited. And I was like, how am I excited doing this? Like, this is a boring, like doing a regular, like Word document template or something like this. This is not exciting. Like, but I am super happy. I just felt happy to help them.
That's honestly, I feel like that what it comes down to, right? I mean, you wanted to create opportunities for yourself, and you might as well be happy doing it because, hey, it really clicked to your value, right? So I'm curious, to be honest with you, when you start realizing, okay, you are vegan and then you really do want to support all these like amazing vegan companies and plant-based companies, like what really came to your mind before you realized like, oh, I am niching down? Or did you not realize as you start working with these people that you were niching down? I mean, okay, I guess let me rephrase that question. Did you realize that you're niching down?
No.
So you're niching down without like consciously realize that, oh, I'm niching down.
I mean, I didn't even, when I was doing this, niching down, I was not aware of that it was happening. It was just very organically. So, and then after that, I created the brand and made it official. And we had the name before, but it wasn't registered. So, later I thought like, oh, actually, if I announce the niche, we become a brand. If I just make the brand more visual.
Yeah.
More,
that's really interesting.
have more presence of the values. Yeah.
How do you feel when you actually realize now that a lot of people in our group talk about like niching down and everything? How do you feel? Do you feel that you made the right choice?
Yeah, definitely. Sorry, my questions are like, yes.
That is perfectly fine. Okay. So
my answers are directly like, yes, no.
I'm like that too sometimes, so no need to apologize. I'm curious, like in terms of like looking at other designers out there and different studios and agency owners who are currently still choosing to be like a generalist, right? They don't really niching down. They don't really have a particular industry that they choose to work with. What do you think about that? Like, what are your like perspective or thoughts around the advantage that they may have that you as someone or a studio owner who have a particular niche don't have? Like, do you have any thoughts around that?
What I think is that you can't, what we hear all the time from this, from our coaching sessions, you can't be everything for everyone. It's just impossible. Like what I've realized is that my services have expanded. So I study motion graphics, but I'm doing all type of marketing that helps. I don't want to compress the skills so that just feels like selfish, or I want to be generous and I understand the realm of other deliverables that how we can help our clients. So in that sense, I'm more like, we're more doing brand strategy in this with deliverables. But in the realm of saying, yeah, I'm going to do everything for all the brands, then you're not really understanding one industry clearly. So of course, with the strategy session, you can understand them, you can understand the brand, but if you're all the time consuming the industry, the knowledge of the industry, then your positioning will be stronger and you will be an expert.
Yeah, and I actually second that as well, because there's so many other people in my particular network, they are saying the same thing, right? When I ask them, who would you choose to work with? Someone who have a very specific expertise in X either topic or industry or certain, problem, or someone that can do it all, right? And the answer is always coming back to, I want to talk to the expert, because at least in my opinion, they will, have a very in-depth experience and expertise around these particular topic. So I
Yeah.
agree with you. And I'm also curious in terms of like, how have this niching down, methods or approach impacted your business? Like in general, do you think because you're like niching down, has it affecting the way people reach out to you? Are you getting like more relevant people coming to your door, or like getting more relevant companies that really do see you as someone who is different among the other people, or the talent that we have in this creative industry?
I think that within time, I'm getting more and more leads, and they just they just get to know us, and they know that we're really genuine about it.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so I guess like it just grows. The way that people approach to us, like the number of people approaching to us, it grows.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I
Is there
don't know
like
how to.
sorry to cut you off a little bit over there. Is there like a experience in the past where you feel like this one amazing company reached out to you because you are being true to yourself and your niche, and it just turned out to be like an amazing, amazing project and, great clients to work with? Has there ever happened in the past?
Yes, we worked with Beyond Meat.
Do you want to share that experience with us?
Yeah, of course. That's not a secret. It's on our website. They reached out to us for this campaign in Bremen. They were introducing the Beyond Sausage in
Mm-hmm.
Germany. So Germany is a very sausage country, right? So they wanted to make a campaign on it, and you know, so we had to go to the stadium out of a game and record all the reactions. Like we had a moderator giving them the samples and getting the questions, and so it was kind of crazy though, because they reach out to us and they say, we need this, and this project is happening in 2 weeks, so we need to plan
Yeah.
and book everything somewhere else, book the team, get the moderator. And I was booked. I was still transitioning.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the part I don't want to say. I don't want to say the part that's transitioning in case somebody like these guys are Beyond Meat hear it. So I was, so my time was super booked, right? And I get this request, and I'm like, okay, I do have time in 2 weeks, but right now I was kind of busy, and I thought like, I don't want to reject it.
Mm-hmm.
And well, what I just did was I reached out to my team, to a producer that will help me and be extra hands that I didn't have.
Yeah.
And we just got it done. And I think that it was my husband was saying like, it's in 2 weeks, this is Germany, you need to plan things with a month or a month and a half or something. And I'm like,
Yeah.
yes, but I went to SCAD, and in SCAD it's like this, in my school in Savannah,
Yeah.
you go like full speed. And I thought like, I told him like, I've done worse, I got this. And
That's
this is
amazing.
Beyond Meat. I mean, how am I going to reject them? Like, no way. And like, I wanted to give them something awesome, right?
Yeah.
Because they're awesome. So, and it's such a big thing that they are introducing this amazing product. And to
Yeah.
be part of that, it was just like I just had the energy after like my busy time to give my best, because I love the brand.
I think that really speak to, not just your expertise, but also your passion. And it also really speak in terms of like, how do you really feel this niching down part of your business really does come to not just fruition, but also it aligns to where you want it to go, and who do you really want to truly help in giving all your best to this particular brand, right? And I think every designers and every other agency owners who really feel that they have a very strong either like devotion or passion or a certain thing or topic should pursue that particular direction for the business as well when it comes to niching down. And I think that would just change the way you're really looking at the project and really looking at how am I giving my best to this particular project, because you really care about it and you're very passionate about it. And on top of that, you are working with the other people who are also passionate about the same thing you are passionate about. So I just feel like it just becomes such an alignment, and I see how you are leveraging this particular niche to your advantage and making it your power for the agency itself. So I'm gonna ask you like another question that may or may not gonna contradict with a couple of things we just talked about. Now, what do you do when a lead come to you, right? A lead come to you and they are not in your niche industry. Pretend it's a great project. It aligns with your value, Roxy, and then the budget feels right, but it's just not within your targeted niche. What would you do? Would you turn that project away? And why?
If it's supporting any type of animal cruelty, it's not for me.
Okay.
If it's a tech company, let's say a tech company like headphones, whatever, and I have a time in my schedule, then of course I would take it, because we have a web product right now. We're building a web product. It's all bootstrapped, so we're not really getting we're not looking at getting investment yet. So for us, is Vexquisit is also feeding this product. It's called Vexquisit. So if we get this kind of product, this kind of things, then it allows us to move forward with our web product, and it allows the business to stay active. And yeah, so I've had this situation happening like just recently, and luckily it was with somebody in our group, and that was really exciting. Because it's with him, like it's Ash, so like it was exciting to do, but it wasn't like, it's not the same as doing a Beyond Meat project, but it's not a brand that is doing any harm, so then I'm okay with it. I'm gonna help if I
so
have the
as long
time
as it's still aligned with your value in some sort of way, whether or not it's within your niche, it doesn't matter. But as long as it's not going against your true belief and true values on animal cruelty and anything around that, right? Okay, that's fantastic. I mean, like, I feel it's gonna be hard for some people to kind of turn away certain project, especially around time like COVID-19 situation that we have right now. But I think it's so rewarding if you pick just the right project that also feels right to you. If it doesn't align with your value, just say no. You might end up like stressing about it, or maybe just going to feel very frustrated about it because you took on the project that you just don't really want to do in the first place, only because of the money. But opportunities will come back. I think it will always come back if you stay true to yourself and keep pushing, like promoting yourself as who you are, what you're really expert in certain space or certain topic about, and really, do your own diligence in terms of like being a true value for other people.
Exactly.
I have one last question before we kind of wrap this up. Now, what starting points should other women in design take into consideration before they start niching down? Do you have a couple that you wanted to share, Roxy?
I honestly think you need to, I know that being a woman in the industry is hard. Like you get more blockages, and maybe women get negotiated more. But I think that what I've done, I have to kind of ignore this, because if I'm too aware and too worried, then I'm being on the way. So as years ago, I wanted to be an art director, and I started when I was freelancing, and I started writing to studios like, I'm an art director, but nobody would give me the promotion. Oh, I want to do art direction. And then I just said, I'm an art director. So I gave myself the promotion. I was like, okay, yeah, I didn't need permission for that. And I think that, I give promotions to me all the time.
Yeah.
I'm a team shrink. I'm coffee maker. Just kidding. Yeah, I mean, if I realize like I realized that in the past years we've been doing brand strategy, and I've never been calling me a brand strategist. So I'm like, I maybe need to give myself that promotion as well.
Yes,
So I
definitely
need to
own
talk
it.
to HR and make sure, but I am HR, so.
You're all of these like different hats, right? I feel like, as a fellow business owner as well, you just have so many different roles sometimes because
Yeah.
you're leading a company, you're leading a team, and then you're also trying to like push the company to move forward. Sometimes you're just gonna have to own that you have multiple hats, but I think there's always like a time where you have to focus on certain role and be true to that particular role so that you can also set examples for your team members. One thing that I would love to share with everyone who are thinking about niching down, aside from really looking at what you're passionate about and what the opportunities are, I would also look at in terms of like how big is this particular market or this particular industry that you're trying to get into, right? Is there going to be like enough opportunity for you in there? I also got this really great advice from I think it's from Greg Manco recently. He shared with me how he niched down in his own industry for fintech, and the main reason why he feel like the current industry that he's in is big enough is that tech industry is just so big. It's still very big, even though you can still separate that particular industry with other industry. Tech is still super big, right? So how can you narrow it down even further and find specific opportunities that can still sustain you? So find a niche that is big enough to sustain you, but not too small so that you're competing with other people who are also in that particular niche. So I'm going to leave everyone with that. Feel free to, reach out to Roxy as well if you feel.
I would actually, can I
Yeah.
cut you off?
Oh, no, perfectly. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Well, if the niche is small, then you're actually competing with less people.
That's true too.
Yeah. So like, I don't know. I would say just do it. Just fail.
Yeah. Fail often, fail
earlier.
fast. I think that is definitely a lot of other suggestions and advice I hear from like, tech companies here as well. But it is true though, like just do it. If you feel that it's right, do it, try it, and refine.
And
Always
if the niche
test.
is small,
Mm-hmm.
and if the niche is small, then because my niche, I feel it's kind of small, even though because I know it, it doesn't feel small. It's small in other people's
Mm-hmm.
eyes, but I
Yeah.
know it, and I can see like hundreds of brands coming up. But some of them might not be a good match because I don't know, they're too small and we our prices are higher,
Mm-hmm.
or I don't know. So there's a space for everyone. Like I get creative saying calling me and like, oh, I want to niche down too, and I'm like, I'm helping them niche down to plant-based, and it's fine. I'm always like,
Yeah.
are you gonna compete with me? But then I'm like, there's a space for everyone, and these
Yeah.
brands need as much help as possible. So a
Yeah.
niche is always growing, and if a niche is small, then you can be that one person. And I think that my clients that were in Vancouver, LA, like you don't even need to say, okay, because I'm in LA, I can niche.
Yeah.
It doesn't, like you can be in a city and just build your web presence, like your
Mm-hmm.
online presence, and make yourself known as the person to go. It takes time. It took me 2 years, and I was before, at the beginning, less projects, freelancing, and like it slowly it moved, and there was a time in between that my revenue went down because I
Mm-hmm.
was not reaching out for freelancing, because I was just not interested anymore. I
Yeah.
did reach out to one agency that I love, and I told them, guys, this is happening. I'm doing my studio, but I'm not reaching out to anybody that's freelancing. You guys are unique. For you,
Mm-hmm.
I might, if I have my calendar free, because I'm transitioning. Like I was just transparent with them.
That's
I
awesome.
was a little bit nervous because I thought, like, I'm putting out on LinkedIn that I'm doing this and they're gonna see. And then what if at this point, what if there's a month that I have nothing, and then they could have had a project, and I had a really good day rate as a freelancer.
Mm-hmm.
So like I had already a senior rate, and I was like, I'm just gonna be transparent with them, and I'm gonna tell them like, this is happening, and because you're my favorite ones, I'm letting you know that for you I would be available if I have a free schedule.
Yeah.
You know, so kind of like transitioned, but at some point, because I was doing a lot of marketing for the niche, I was losing a lot of freelancing work.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, everybody tells you have a runway. I didn't have
Mm-hmm.
it because, you know, was just irresponsible like that. So I did go through very hard months,
Yeah.
but it's paid back. It's not easy to stay. So in these months, I was thinking like, oh no, should I go full time somewhere? Should I just find a full-time job in a vegan company? But you know, it's like not really for me. This, like, I'm more of an entrepreneur, you know, and I
Yeah.
want to help more.
Hey, you
So
kind of have to like stay resilient, right? Like keep it true to yourself. Like honestly, if you
yeah,
keep doing your own diligence and better positioning and marketing yourself and also doing a great work, it will come. There's always going to be that downtime. I mean, I feel like everybody experiencing that. Entrepreneurship, it's not all rainbows and sunshine. So there's always going to be like the time where you feel like, oh, this sucks, like 100%.
yeah.
But you're going to bounce back, definitely will.
And I'm not there yet. So it's not like, yes, I made it, you know. No, I'm not there yet. Come
I
on.
think we're all
Like,
still like
you guys
learning
are
too.
what?
Oh, I was saying, I think we're all still learning too. But Roxy, I think this has come to the end of our conversation. I feel like we can still go on and on about this. Let's
Yes,
just set up like another
agree.
call separately. I think that would be wonderful. But for
We
everyone,
should. Yeah.
oh, do you have a few more things to say?
Me? No, I'm
Okay.
good. That
Okay,
was great.
fantastic.
Sorry, I
So
didn't prepare any question.
perfectly fine. You are good. And this has been a wonderful conversation. Thank you so
Thank you
much,
so much for
everyone.
having me.
Yes, and honestly, everyone, this is all for our interview with Roxy Vélez. Please subscribe to our channel to watch more Women in Design Spotlight videos. Also, make sure to connect with both Roxy and myself online. We'll include the links in the description, and we hope you have a wonderful day. See ya. Bye.